Some nights don't need to be conquered. They only need to be entered. The way you'd step into a garden when the gate is already open. Picture moonlit grass, silvered at the tips like it's been lightly dusted with quiet. A thin ribbon of water moves nearby, so slowly it could be mistaken for a thought drifting across your mind. Fog lingers low, not dramatic, not spooky, just present, like a soft blanket that forgot it was supposed to be useful and decided to be beautiful instead. Somewhere in the dark, insects speak in tiny, steady syllables. A breeze passes and doesn't ask permission. Leaves answer with a hush, and the trees hold their branches in that calm, listening posture, like they're waiting for the next gentle thing to happen. Even the trees look like they're practicing deep breathing. Honestly, they're better at it than most of us. If you're arriving here with a busy mind, that's okay. You don't have to turn it off. You can simply let it dim, the way a lantern dims when the wind decides to be kind. Welcome to Sleepy Nature Sleep, where the wild grows soft and curiosity becomes calm. Tonight, let your thoughts follow the rhythm of the earth, your breathing settle like evening wind, and your mind wander gently through the quiet wild. Here, we sit together in a small circle of calm, like a quiet campfire that doesn't crackle too loudly. If this place feels peaceful, you're always welcome back. No membership card required, only your presence. Just you, returning whenever you want, the way birds return to familiar branches, the way water returns to the same gentle bends. And if you'd like to support the channel, it helps us keep the nightlights low and the nature facts cozy. Nothing loud, nothing urgent, just a little kindness that lets this calm keep flowing. Now, let's drift toward tonight's companion in the dark. Not a creature of rush, not a creature of noise, though it has famously some opinions. Tonight, we follow the wild peacock. In daylight, a peacock can feel like a living painting, bright, detailed, almost too magnificent to be real. But at night, everything softens. Colors rest, feathers fold into shadows. The world becomes less about display and more about quiet survival, about perching, listening, and belonging to the shape of the land. Wild peafowl, peacocks, and peahens often settle into trees to sleep, choosing height for safety and stillness. They become silhouettes among branches, tucked into the calm architecture of leaves. And in that simple act, finding a place, settling in, letting the night hold them, there's something we can borrow. So let your breathing slow, like water smoothing itself after a small ripple. Let your shoulders drop the way fog drops into valleys, without effort, without announcement. We'll move gently tonight, through the peacock's nighttime world, through the hush of forests and edges of fields, through soft facts and softer imagery, until sleep finds you the way moonlight finds grass, quietly, naturally, and without needing to try. Some questions arrive like a soft leaf landing on water. No splash, no demand, just a small floating thought that stays nearby. Tonight's question is simple, and it belongs to the ground more than the sky. When the day fades and the colors of the world fold themselves away, what does it mean to feel safe in a place that is still alive? Not safe like a locked door, not safe like a rule book, more like a familiar branch, a dependable tree, a patch of air that smells the same every evening, a quiet corner where the body loosens its grip on alertness because the land itself feels known. Wild peafowl live with this question gently threaded into their routine. They do not solve it with words. They don't hold a meeting. They don't make a spreadsheet. They simply choose. They drift toward what has worked before. They return to what feels steady. They settle where the night seems kindest. Sometimes that place is a tree with broad branches that hold them like patient arms. Sometimes it's a grove near water, where the air stays cool and the insects sing their steady lullaby. Sometimes it's a familiar edge between forest and open ground, where the world feels readable like a well-worn page. And maybe that's part of the softness of the question. Safety in nature often looks like familiarity, the comfort of patterns, the relief of recognizing the shape of the evening. If you're listening with a mind that still feels busy, you can let this question sit beside you without answering it. You don't have to do anything with it. You can just notice it. The way you notice moonlight on a wall. What makes a place feel safe enough to rest? A certain sound, a certain smell, a certain temperature, a sense of being held by something quiet and steady. And here's a small, friendly truth. You're allowed to want that too. You're allowed to lean toward comfort. You're allowed to choose softness, even if your day tried to convince you that you should be productive, right up until your pillow files a complaint. Tonight, we'll follow wild peafowl into their evening world. We'll watch how they drift through dusk, how they tuck themselves into trees, how their bright daytime glory becomes something quieter, something almost secret. And as we go, we'll keep that question nearby, like a warm stone in your pocket. Not heavy, not urgent, just softly present. Imagine a landscape that doesn't hurry you. The air is warm but not demanding, like a blanket that knows when to loosen. The ground holds the day's last heat in a slow exhale. Somewhere nearby, water collects, maybe a stream, maybe a small pond, reflecting the moon in a way that feels less like a mirror and more like a quiet agreement. This is often the kind of place wild peafowl call home. Forest edges, open woodland, patches of scrub, farms and fields that meet trees like two neighbors who've learned to share a fence. They tend to appreciate a mix of spaces, areas to wander and feed, and places to disappear into shade. In the evening, the world shifts its voice. Daytime sounds step back. Nighttime sounds step forward. Insects begin their tiny, persistent music. A bird calls once, then rests. Leaves move when the wind remembers to visit. If you were walking here, not quickly, never quickly, you might notice how the textures change as light fades. Colors simplify. Shapes soften. Details become suggestions. Peafowl are large ground birds, related to pheasants. The males, peacocks, are the famous ones, dressed in long, shimmering tail feathers called a train. The females, peahens, wear gentler browns and greens, like forest shades, that learned how to be practical and pretty at the same time. But tonight, we're not here for daytime glamour. We're here for the quieter version of their lives. The part that happens when the show closes, the audience leaves, and even the most dramatic feathers decide to fold themselves up and take the evening off Wild peafowl spend much of their time on the ground, walking and foraging. They eat a varied diet: seeds, fruits, insects, and other small bites the landscape offers. It's less fine dining, more calm grazing, like a slow buffet that never runs out of small options. And when night arrives, they often head upward to roost in trees. It's a simple habit, repeated again and again. The day loosens, the body rises, the feathers settle, and the branch becomes a bed. No rush, no fuss, no dramatic soundtrack. The river doesn't rush. It's not trying to impress anyone. And honestly, neither is the moon. So as we begin, let the setting become a gentle container around your thoughts. Let the edges blur softly. Let the land feel wide and untroubled. We're stepping into a quiet world now, one where bright birds become dark silhouettes and rest becomes part of the landscape's natural rhythm. Dusk arrives like a slow curtain. The last light thins out, and the peafowl becomes softer shapes moving across the ground. Their footsteps are small and careful, not because anything is wrong, but because this is how they move, like the earth is something you greet politely. A wild peacock in the fading light doesn't look like a firework. He looks like a shadow with good posture. His famous train, those long, eye-spotted feathers, rests behind him like folded fabric. In the day, that train catches sunlight and turns it into color. At night, it becomes a quiet outline, a soft, trailing hush. Peafowl often gather in small groups, especially outside the breeding season. They may feed in open areas and then drift toward trees as evening deepens. It's a gentle rhythm. Wander, nibble, pause, listen, wander again. The body stays busy, but the mood stays calm. They forage with the kind of focus that doesn't feel anxious. A peahen might lower her head, investigate the ground, and take a small bite, seed, berry, insect, whatever the land offers without drama. It's a lifestyle built on noticing, tiny discoveries, repeated. And if you've ever tried to relax by aggressively telling yourself to relax, you'll appreciate this approach. The peafowl don't demand calm, they simply participate in it. As darkness settles, their senses shift with the light. Birds rely strongly on vision, and as details fade, stillness becomes useful. Movements become slower, pauses become longer. The world becomes a little more about listening, a little less about looking. You might hear a soft call now and then. Peafowl have a range of vocalizations that can carry far. But at night, the landscape often prefers quieter conversation. Even the loud birds learn to lower the volume, at least a little. There's something comforting about that. The idea that the day can be bright and busy, and the night can be simply enough. And somewhere in the middle, right here in dusk, everything transitions like a slow breath. If your mind is still holding on to the day, you can let it trail behind you the way the peacock's train trails behind him. Not discarded, not fought, just following. Quieter now. He continues across the ground, and the field smells like warm grass cooling down. Leaves above begin to move as other creatures settle in. The air becomes smoother. Soon the peafowl will lift into the trees to roost, one of nature's simplest bedtime routines. And for now, we just watch them drift, like a thought slowly turning into sleep. Foraging is one of the calmest activities in the natural world. It's slow, it's repetitive, It's quietly practical, like someone making tea but with fewer dishes. A wild peafowl walks along the ground, head bobbing slightly with each step, scanning for small edible treasures, seeds scattered in the grass, fallen fruit near a tree, insects hidden under leaves, sometimes even tiny plants or grains near human farmland. Their diet is flexible, and that flexibility is part of their ease. You can think of it as a peaceful partnership with the landscape. The land offers variety, and the bird responds with patience. Peafowl often feed in the early morning and late afternoon when temperatures are kinder and the light is soft. Evening foraging has a special mood. The world cools, shadows lengthen. The ground becomes less glaring, more forgiving. A peahen pauses, tilts her head and pecks once, then again, then drifts a few steps and repeats. It's not rushed. It's not dramatic. It's a pattern that feels almost meditative. And yes, sometimes they scratch the ground lightly, shifting leaves aside to reveal hidden snacks. It's like gently rearranging a blanket to find the comfortable spot. The blanket just happens to be nature. Their beaks are sturdy enough for a variety of foods, and their strong legs carry them easily over uneven ground. They're built for walking, for wandering, not sprinting, not leaping, just steady travel through their familiar places. If you've ever taken a slow walk and noticed how your thoughts begin to spread out and soften, you'll understand why watching foraging can feel soothing. It's movement without urgency, focus without pressure. And here's a gentle, sleepy little joke. Peafowl are not picky in a fancy way. They're picky in a, this seems edible, and I would like to continue existing way. A very relatable standard, honestly. As the bird feeds, the environment continues its evening rituals around it. Crickets begin their steady rhythm. A small breeze slides across the field. The smell of soil rises, earthy and calm. Each peck is small. Each step is quiet. The bird's body language says, there is time. So if your mind has been racing, you can borrow this pace for a moment. Imagine your thoughts as scattered seeds in grass. No need to chase them. Just notice one, then another, then let them be. The peafowl continues, unbothered by the idea of getting it all done. It simply moves through the evening, one gentle bite at a time, until the sky grows darker and the trees begin to look like beds. When the light dims enough, the peafowl begin to do something wonderfully sensible. They go to bed. Not a complicated bed. Not a bed with decorative pillows that make you wonder if you're allowed to touch them. A simple bed made of branches, steady, elevated, familiar. Wild peafowl often roost in trees at night. Height offers a quiet kind of comfort. The branch supports the body, and the air up there feels different, cooler, cleaner, slightly removed from the ground's busy textures. The movement into the tree can look surprisingly graceful for such a large bird. They may flutter up to a low branch, then step higher, choosing a perch that feels stable. There's no hurry in it. It's a practice routine, repeated night after night. Once settled, they tuck in. Feathers loosen. The neck draws in slightly. The train of the peacock, those famous long feathers, rests along the branch or folds behind him, becoming less of a spectacle and more of a soft, quiet accessory. Like a formal outfit, finally changing into pajamas. And if you've ever felt relief when you finally lie down and your muscles realize they've been holding tension all day, you'll recognize that same easing in the bird's posture. Roosting is also a social habit. Peafowl may choose trees where others roost too, creating a small community of silhouettes, quiet neighbors in the same leafy apartment building. Nobody knocks on your door. Nobody plays loud music. The HOA is just the wind. They become still, and the tree becomes their nighttime world. Leaves shift gently above. The trunk holds steady beneath. Insects continue their soft chorus. Somewhere, water moves slowly, smoothing itself in the dark. This is one of the simplest truths in nature. Rest is not earned. It is practiced. It is returned to. And as the peafowls settle into the branches, you can settle too, into your own safe place, into your own quiet. Let your breathing slow like a branch swaying. Let your thoughts find a perch and stop fluttering. The night is not asking anything from you. It's only offering its softness. And in the trees, the peafowl accept that offer, becoming quiet shapes held by wood and leaf and moonlight as sleep begins to gather like gentle fog. Night turns the peacock into a quieter idea of himself. In the daytime, his train can look like a whole festival, long feathers layered with eye-like patterns, shimmering greens and blues that seem to borrow color from water and leaf. But at night, those same feathers rest. They become less like fireworks and more like fabric, less like "look at me" and more like "let me be." That train isn't actually the tail itself. It's made of elongated upper tail coverts, special feathers that drape over the shorter tail feathers beneath. It's a little like wearing a very dramatic cape, with the practical tail doing its regular, quiet work underneath. Nature loves a good outfit, but it also loves engineering. Those eye spots, called ocelli, aren't painted on. They're built through tiny structures in the feather that reflect light in specific ways, creating iridescence. In simple terms, the feather is made like a delicate prism. It doesn't just hold color, it plays with it. And when the sun is gone, that game pauses. The colors don't vanish completely, they simply stop showing off. Up in the roosting tree, a peacock shifts his weight, settles his feet around the branch, and allows the feathers to lie where they want. This is not the posture of performance. This is the posture of rest. If you imagine what it must feel like to carry a long train of feathers through life, you might feel a small wave of sympathy, like watching someone walk around all day in a floor-length gown. Elegant, yes. Practical, questionable. But the peacock does it with calm confidence, as if to say, "This is simply my wardrobe. Please don't make it weird." At night, the feathers become quieter, and so does the peacock's energy. Birds don't sleep the exact way humans do, but they do rest, with periods of stillness and alertness, their bodies entering a calmer mode. The tree offers a stable platform. The branch becomes a bed that doesn't creak. The leaves above become a soft ceiling. And there's something soothing in that. The idea that even the most decorated creature in the forest gets to be plain in the dark. No spotlight. No audience. Just a body, a branch, and the slow breath of night moving through leaves. So if your own day has asked you to be bright, productive, responsive, on, you can let that fade here. Like the peacock's colors, your thoughts can rest their shimmer. They don't have to disappear. They can simply stop performing. Let the night be your tree. Let your mind be your folded feather. And let rest arrive quietly, as if it has always known the way. A roosting tree can feel like a small neighborhood, quiet, leafy, and politely distant. Wild peafowl often roost in groups, sometimes with several birds sharing the same tree or nearby trees. They don't gather to chat about their feelings. They gather because the place is suitable, familiar, elevated, a practical kind of cozy. In the dim light, you might see them as silhouettes spaced along branches, each bird a calm shape, each shape a small decision. This is where I'll rest. There's a gentle social comfort in it, not the loud comfort of a party, but the quiet comfort of knowing others are nearby, also choosing stillness. Peafowl can be social animals, living in groups called parties. The name sounds festive, but the energy is often more like a slow brunch where nobody rushes you out the door. During the day, these groups may forage together, moving through fields and forest edges in a relaxed, watchful flow. At night, they drift toward shared resting areas. Up in the tree, a peahen adjusts her position, one small step, a slight turn, then stillness again. A young bird tucks its head closer into its feathers. The peacock lets his train settle, not perfectly arranged, just comfortably placed, comfort over aesthetics. A truly inspiring message from a bird in couture. The tree itself participates. Leaves create soft partitions between neighbors. Branches offer different levels, like nature's own seating plan. Higher branches may be preferred, but stability matters too. A good perch is one that feels steady beneath the feet, because rest is easier when the body trusts what holds it. And below, the ground continues its own nighttime story. Cool air spreads outward. Dew begins to form. Insects hum their steady rhythm. The world doesn't stop. It simply quiets. There's a feeling in this scene that can be borrowed. The sense that you don't have to be alone to be at peace, and you don't have to perform to belong. You can simply share the night, each in your own space, each held by your own branch. If you're listening from a room where others sleep, or from a home that holds other lives, family, friends, neighbors, you might notice that same gentle pattern. Separate bodies, separate thoughts, one shared night. And even if you're alone, the idea still holds. You're part of a larger landscape of resting beings. Birds in trees, insects in grass, water settling into stillness, the whole earth turning slowly without asking you to manage it. So let your mind take its place on the branch of this moment. Let your thoughts be quiet neighbors. No need to speak, no need to explain. Just the soft company of night and the calm understanding that rest can be shared, even in silence. Night is full of information, but it delivers it gently. Up in the roost, a peafowl rests, still, feathered, calm. Yet even in rest, the world is received. Birds are attentive creatures, and their senses remain softly open to the environment, not in a tense way, more like a dozing person who still notices the sound of rain. In low light, vision changes, details fade, the world becomes simpler, edges, movement, contrast. Listening becomes more important, and the night provides a soundtrack that's steady and repetitive, the kind of sound that doesn't demand your attention, but offers a place for your attention to rest. Insects sing in tiny cycles. A breeze shifts leaves in slow waves. Water murmurs if it's nearby. These are not sharp noises. They're soft textures in the air. Peafowl have their own vocalizations, and during the day they can be quite expressive. At night, the forest tends to prefer quieter manners. The calls may be less frequent, the energy more subdued. The birds settle into the atmosphere like objects placed carefully on a shelf. A peacock, even while resting, may slightly adjust his head, responding to a distant sound, then return to stillness. The body says, "Noted." The mind says, "Back to rest." There's a particular calm in that rhythm. Notice, release, notice, release. It's the opposite of overthinking. It's the gentle cousin of vigilance, present, but not panicked. And if your mind tends to latch onto sounds at night, the refrigerator hum, a car passing, the mysterious creak that your house makes because it enjoys being a house, you can borrow this peafowl technique. Acknowledge the sound, then let it pass through without building a whole story around it. Because the night doesn't require stories. It offers sensations. It offers signals. It offers soft reminders that you are in a living place. In the tree, feathers settle against feathers. Warmth holds close to the body. The branch supports without comment. The leaves above stir like someone turning a page very slowly. And the peafowl continues to rest in this listening world, absorbing the night the way soil absorbs dew, quietly, naturally, without hurry. If you'd like, you can let your own hearing widen for a moment. Not to search for danger, no, not that. Just to notice the softness of sound itself, the way night makes everything a little smoother. Then, like the peafowl, you can return inward, back to breath, back to the gentle weight of your body, back to the quiet place where sleep gathers. The world is listening. You're listening. And in that shared hush, rest becomes easier, as if the night is doing some of the work for you. As the evening deepens, the air changes its texture. Warmth, which once rose from the ground like a soft exhale, begins to thin. The land cools gradually, with no drama, like a kettle being taken off the stove and allowed to simply become calm again. This cooling is more than a feeling. It's part of a nightly rhythm. As temperatures drop, moisture in the air may begin to settle on surfaces, grass tips, leaves, stones, forming dew. Dew is the night's quiet handwriting, leaving tiny notes on everything. You are here, you are cooled, you are held. Near the roosting tree, the grass darkens with moisture. A leaf catches a bead of dew and holds it like a small, trembling jewel. Moonlight lands on it, and for a moment, the world looks like it has tiny stars sprinkled at ground level. Up above, the peafowl remain still. Their feathers insulate them, trapping warmth close to their bodies. Feathers are astonishing like that. So light, yet so effective. Each feather has a central shaft with branching barbs, and those barbs have even finer barbules, creating a structure that holds air. Warm air, safe air, cozy air. If you've ever pulled a blanket up and felt the immediate relief of warmth collecting around you, that's the same basic idea. Nature invented comfort long before we did. We simply started labeling it and charging money for it. The night also brings subtle shifts in activity among other creatures. Some insects become more audible. Nocturnal life continues its soft routines, but everything feels gentled, smoothed out, less sharp. And this is where the peacock's world becomes a lesson in easing. The bird doesn't fight the cooling air. It doesn't resist the dew. It simply exists within the change, letting the environment do what it does, while the body does what it does. Rest. If your day has been hot, busy, crowded, mentally bright, you can imagine it cooling now. Not abruptly, not forcibly, gradually, like air releasing its grip on heat. Let your thoughts cool the same way. Let your jaw loosen a little. Let your shoulders sink as if gravity is kindly increasing, just enough to help, not enough to bother. Outside, dew continues its patient work. Moonlight stays steady. The ground becomes darker, softer, quieter. And up in the tree, the peafowl remain tucked into their feathered calm, allowing the night to wrap around them. Cool air, warm bodies, and the steady, unhurried rhythm of the world turning towards sleep. If the peacock is known for spectacle, the peahen is known for something equally impressive: practicality that still manages to be beautiful. In the dim world of forest edges and fields, the peahen's softer colors, browns, muted greens, gentle patterns, blend easily into the landscape. It's the kind of elegance that doesn't announce itself. It simply fits. Her feathers carry the tones of earth and leaf, dry grass and shade. In daylight, these colors can look understated next to a peacock's shimmering display. But at night, understatement becomes a kind of power. The night is not a stage, it is a shelter, and the peahen's look is perfectly suited to it. In many bird species, females tend to have more camouflaged plumage, especially in ground nesting or ground feeding birds. It's not about being plain, it's about being safe in a world of texture and shadow. The peahen wears the landscape as if the landscape tailored it for her. On the roosting branch, she settles with small, careful movements, a shift of feet, a slight tuck of the head, a pause, then stillness. She doesn't fuss. She doesn't rearrange the entire room. She doesn't fluff every feather into perfection. And honestly, that is aspirational. Sometimes humans treat bedtime like a complicated project. Pillows adjusted, phone checked, worries rechecked, existential questions scheduled. The peahen offers an alternative. Find a good place, settle, be done. During the day, peahens forage and move with the group, often guiding or staying near younger birds. Their behavior is steady, observant, grounded, not flashy, just competent in the quiet ways that keep life flowing. At night, her calm continues. The branch supports her body. Feathers trap warmth. The surrounding leaves create soft boundaries. She becomes another gentle shape in the tree's silhouette, part of the living architecture of rest. If you're listening tonight and you feel like you've been expected to shine, expected to impress, to sparkle, to be on, the peahen is a warm reminder. You don't have to be dazzling to be worthy of rest. You can be practical. You can be quiet. You can blend into comfort. Let the night be your camouflage. Let stillness be your natural color. And as the peahen settles into the tree, held by branch and leaf, you can settle too, into the simple grace of not needing to perform. Just breathe, just soften, just exist in the gentle dark, where even the most practical feathers become a lullaby. In the morning, footprints can feel like news. But at night, footprints feel like memory, quiet, pressed gently into the earth, then left to rest. Somewhere beneath the roosting tree, the ground is a patchwork of textures: dry dust, cool soil, fallen leaves, a few scattered twigs. If the earth is soft enough, after a recent rain or near water, you might find shallow impressions where peafowl walked earlier in the day. 3 forward toes, one pointing back, each step a small signature. Peafowl are strong walkers. Their legs are built for steady wandering across uneven ground, through scrub, across open fields, along forest edges. Their feet don't tiptoe. They place themselves. They move with the calm confidence of a creature that knows the ground is meant to be traveled. And tonight, even though they rest in trees, the ground still holds their story. The day's foraging path, the pauses, the small turns where a seed was found or a berry was considered. If you could read tracks the way you read a sentence, you might hear something simple. Here I was, and then I was there, and now I am resting. Tracks are one of nature's soft records. They don't last long. Wind smooths them. Dew darkens and reshapes them. Leaves fall and cover them like a gentle blanket. The landscape does not keep receipts for very long. It prefers to let things fade. There's comfort in that. If you've carried the imprint of the day, conversations, tasks, worries, imagine them as footprints in soft earth, not carved in stone, not permanent, just temporary impressions that can be softened by time, smoothed by rest, covered by the simple falling of the night. A breeze slides through and the leaves shift. Somewhere, an insect moves across the ground, barely touching it, then disappearing into grass. The earth continues to be earth, patient, forgiving, ready to be walked on again tomorrow. Above, the peafowl remain still, their bodies tucked into feathered warmth. And below, their footprints rest in the soil like a quiet echo of movement. If you find yourself replaying the day, you can practice nature's version of release. Let the marks exist without meaning too much. Let them be traces, not burdens. Proof that you moved through your day, yes, but not proof that you must keep moving now. Tonight, you are allowed to stop. Let your thoughts become light steps on soft ground. Let each one press in gently, then fade. Let the earth of your mind smooth itself. And as the night continues its slow work, cooling, quieting, settling, everything begins to feel less sharp, less permanent, more kind, just like footprints in soft earth, slowly returning to stillness. Water in the nighttime world has a particular calm. In daylight, water can glitter and shout with reflections. At night, it becomes a darker ribbon, a soft mirror that holds the moon without fuss. It doesn't sparkle to impress anyone. It simply exists, moving when it moves, resting when it rests. Wild peafowl often live near water sources, streams, ponds, irrigation channels, low wet areas that hold moisture in the air. Water supports plant growth, which supports insects and seeds and berries, which support birds. It's a gentle chain of enough, quietly linking one life to another. Peafowl do drink, of course, and when they drink, it's a simple ritual. They dip their beaks, then tilt their heads back to swallow. A small, repeated motion, not rushed, not dramatic, just a calm habit that keeps the body steady. If you imagine a peahen at the edge of a pond in the late evening, you can almost feel the coolness rising from the surface. The air there is often softer, heavier with moisture. The scent changes too. Less dust, more earth, more green. At night, water also becomes a place where sounds soften. The surface absorbs and spreads small noises, an insect landing, a breeze touching reeds, a drop falling from a leaf. Everything becomes quieter, as if the water is encouraging the world to lower its voice. And sometimes, just near water, the night feels safer, not in a tense way, but in a familiar way. The landscape becomes predictable, the air becomes consistent, the world feels held. If your own body is thirsty, you can take that as a gentle, practical signal. Maybe you already have water nearby. Maybe you don't. Either way, the idea of water can be soothing, a steady resource, a calm presence, a reminder that your body is a small ecosystem deserving of care. Peafowl don't argue with thirst. They don't negotiate with it. They simply drink when the opportunity is there. It's a very grounded, very sensible relationship with need. And here's the softest little joke. They don't read articles about hydration. They just hydrate. A truly elegant solution. As night deepens, the water surface becomes darker, reflecting less detail, more feeling. The moon's shape might stretch slightly in the ripple. A reed leans, a leaf touches the edge and lifts again. Above, the peafowl roost in their tree, still and tucked in. Below, water continues its slow movement, doing what water does, smoothing, carrying, cooling. If you let your breathing follow water for a moment, inhale like a small wave rising, exhale like it's settling, you may feel your body loosen, almost without noticing. And tonight, that's enough. A sip of calm, a breath of night, a quiet world that keeps flowing, gently, so you don't have to. There's a special kind of relief in taking something heavy off your mind. The peacock can't exactly hang his train on a hook and say, well, that's enough glamour for today. But at night, the train changes its job. It stops being decoration and becomes something closer to a blanket. Those long, ornate feathers are surprisingly light for their size, but they still take up space. They still catch on things. They still need to be carried through grass and brush like a soft, trailing cloud. In daylight, that cloud is a performance. At night, it becomes a quiet companion. When a peacock roosts, he settles his feet on the branch and lets the train drape. It may rest along the branch, fall behind him, or fold in a way that looks almost like fabric laid down for comfort. The eye spots, so bold in sunlight, become faint patterns in shadow, like sleepy wallpaper. Feathers are remarkable structures. They're flexible but strong, able to bend without breaking, layered in a way that creates warmth and protection. And while the train isn't designed specifically as insulation, the act of settling, of arranging feathers around the body, does create a sense of enclosure, like gathering a robe around your shoulders. Night invites this kind of gathering in. If your thoughts have been trailing behind you all day, unfinished tasks, old conversations, tiny worries that are annoyingly good at following, you can imagine them as your own train. not something you need to fight, just something you can allow to settle. The peacock doesn't panic about his feathers. He doesn't try to control every strand. He simply lets them land where they land. He accepts the softness of gravity. He allows the night to rearrange him into rest. And quietly, the world helps. Cool air lowers the body's heat, encouraging stillness. Leaves form gentle borders. The branch holds steady. Even the darkness feels supportive, like it's saying, you don't have to be impressive right now. In the day, the peacock's train is often associated with display, those shimmering patterns used in courtship, signaling health and strength. But the same feathers in the quiet of night look less like a signal and more like a secret, a private softness. There's something tender in that transformation. The same thing that dazzles also drapes. The same thing that announces also shelters. So if you've been on, if you've been bright, if you've been carrying your own version of a long, elaborate cape through the day, you can let it become a blanket now. Let your body gather itself in. Let your thoughts drape and rest. Let the night hold your edges softly. And somewhere in the tree, the peacock is already doing it, turning display into comfort and beauty into sleep. Some of the calmest moments in an animal's day come from the smallest rituals. Grooming doesn't look like a grand event. It looks like maintenance, a quiet tending to the body, as if to say, I live here, and I will keep this place comfortable. Peafowl, like many birds, preen their feathers. With careful movements of the beak, they straighten and align feather barbs, removing dust and keeping the feather structure in good condition. Feathers work best when they're tidy, when the tiny barbules can hook together properly, creating smooth surfaces for insulation and movement. Preening can also involve distributing oils from the uropygial gland, sometimes called the preen gland, located near the base of the tail. Birds pick up a small amount of this oil with their beaks and spread it onto feathers. It helps with feather condition and, in many species, water resistance. It's a simple practice with long-term benefit, done without stress. And that is the kind of life skill we all quietly admire. Imagine a peahen in the early evening before roosting, standing in the softer light, slowly preening. She turns her head, reaches a feather, smooths it, pauses, repeats. No rush, just the gentle rhythm of care. Even the peacock may do a bit of evening grooming, though his train can make it look like someone trying to fold a very large, very fancy blanket into a small closet. Still, he persists calmly, because comfort matters. Preening is also soothing in its repetition. It's one of those activities that can quiet the mind, not by force, but by pattern. A small action repeated and repeated again until the world feels orderly. If you've ever brushed your hair slowly, or washed your face in warm water, or smoothed a wrinkle from a sheet, those tiny human grooming rituals, then you understand the feeling. It's not about perfection, it's about settling. And as night approaches, settling becomes the main theme of the entire landscape. Leaves move less, the air cools, the ground darkens. The birds transition from movement to stillness, from foraging to roosting, from doing to being. If you'd like, you can borrow the spirit of grooming without doing anything at all. You can preen your thoughts, by letting them line up gently, then relax. You can smooth your breath the way a bird smooths a feather. Inhale, align, exhale, soften. Somewhere nearby, a peafowl finishes a small final preen, tucks its head closer, and allows the body to become quiet. The routine is complete. The feathers are set. The night is ready. And you are allowed to be ready too, not perfectly, not dramatically, just gently tended and slowly carried towards sleep. There is a calm kind of magic at the edge of a forest. Not magic with sparkles, magic with gradients. The place where open field becomes scattered shrubs, where shrubs become trees, where trees become deeper shade. The boundary is not a line, it's a soft transition, like dusk itself. Wild peafowl often favor these edge habitats. They like having options, open spaces for foraging and nearby cover for rest and shelter. The edge offers variety without requiring much effort. It's nature's version of living near both a grocery store and a quiet park. In the evening, the edge feels especially gentle. The field cools quickly, releasing heat upward. The forest holds coolness longer, keeping air smooth and damp. Sounds shift too. Open ground carries insect music, while the trees muffle and soften it, turning the world into a quieter room. If you're standing there in your imagination, you might notice the scent difference. Field air can smell like grass and dust. Forest air smells like leaf litter, bark, moisture, and the slow sweetness of decomposition, nature's patient recycling program. It's not unpleasant. It's earthy, grounded, familiar. Peafowl move through this edge with an unhurried confidence. They can wander out into open areas to feed, then drift back toward trees as night deepens. They don't need a dramatic decision. They follow rhythm. They follow habit. They follow what has worked before. This is part of what makes their lives feel soothing to watch. The reliance on repetition, the trust in routine, the calm assumption that the world will still be there tomorrow. At the roosting time, the edge becomes the corridor leading to bed. The birds step from open space into shadow, from brightness into softness. Their bodies adjust. Their movements become slower. The world becomes quieter. And if you think about it, you also live at edges. You live at the edge between day and night, between activity and rest, between thinking and drifting. You don't need to leap from one state to the other. You can transition gently, like the landscape transitions from grass to tree. So let this forest edge be a metaphor you don't have to work hard for. Just let it exist. Let your thoughts be the open field, wide, scattered, still a little bright. Let your breath be the shrubs, softening, filtering, slowing. Let your body be the trees, steady, dark, safe enough to rest. The peafowl already understand this kind of movement. A slow return to cover, a quiet acceptance of night. And as they settle into the forest's gentle shade, you can follow that same drift, crossing your own soft boundary, from wakefulness into calm, from calm into sleep, as naturally as grass becoming forest, without any need to force it. The moon does not shout the time. It doesn't ring. It doesn't buzz in your pocket. It doesn't flash a reminder that you're behind. The moon simply appears, steady, patient, and the world responds in small, natural ways. For wild peafowl, light matters. Birds are strongly guided by day and night rhythms, and as brightness fades, behaviors shift. Feeding and wandering soften. Rest becomes more appealing. The body listens to light the way a shoreline listens to tides, without needing to understand it, without needing to argue. Moonlight is gentle compared to sunlight, but it still paints the landscape. It outlines branches. It turns tall grass into pale threads. It gives the world enough shape to feel readable, even when everything is quiet and dim. In some places, the moon may feel brighter: open fields, sparse trees, water surfaces that catch and reflect light. In deeper forest, it becomes more filtered, arriving in pieces through leaves like soft confetti that forgot how to party. Up in the roosting tree, a peacock sits with his body settled and his feathers at rest. He may not look at the moon the way we do, with romance and interpretation, but he experiences its effects, the way it changes visibility, the way it changes the feel of the night. The moon is also part of a broader rhythm in nature. Many creatures, especially nocturnal ones, shift activity depending on moon brightness. Some insects sing more. Some small animals move differently. The whole night has moods, and moonlight is one of the mood setters. Like dimming the lights in a room so everyone naturally speaks a little softer. If you've ever noticed that you feel sleepier when your room is darker, that's not a coincidence. Light influences the body's internal timing, and in the wild, light is the most honest clock there is. No exaggeration, no pop-ups, no urgent labels. The peafowl accept this clock without stress. They roost, they settle, they let the night carry them, and you can borrow that ease. Imagine your own mind as a landscape. The bright parts are dimming now. Thoughts become less sharp, edges blur. The to-do list grows quieter, like a bird tucking its head under a wing. Let the moon be your signal that nothing needs to be solved. Let it be permission to soften. Outside, the moon continues its slow travel, so slow it almost feels still. Inside, your breathing can become a similar slow movement, steady, quiet, uncomplicated. Inhale like moonlight touching grass. Exhale like shadow returning. The world keeps time without demanding anything from you, and the peafowl, perched in their tree, already know the secret. Rest arrives when the light says it's time, and the body simply agrees. Night has a way of changing the air 1 degree at a time. Not abruptly, not dramatically, just a slow drift, like a curtain being drawn without noise. As the sun's warmth leaves the ground, the surface cools. Air near the earth cools too. In many landscapes, you can feel this as a gentle sinking of temperature, especially in open areas and low places where cool air collects like water in a bowl. Near forest edges, those favorite peafowl zones, the contrast can be noticeable. The open field releases heat quickly, while trees hold on to their own small microclimate. Shade, moisture, and a softer, steadier feel. The night becomes layered. Cooler pockets here, warmer pockets there, like nature quietly rearranging blankets. Peafowl respond to this without fuss. They're not debating what to wear. They're already wearing it. Feathers that trap air, creating insulation. That feather layer is one of nature's simplest, best inventions. Light, flexible, and surprisingly effective at keeping warmth where it belongs. Up on the roost, The peafowl tuck themselves into stillness. The body minimizes movement. Heat stays close. Feathers lie in overlapping layers that keep the chill from feeling sharp. Sometimes you can almost imagine the night air sliding around them, testing the edges, then moving on, like a cat deciding whether a lap is available, and when it's not, simply finding another spot. The air is cool, but it's polite. As temperatures drop, the night often feels quieter. Fewer ripples in the air, less buzzing urgency. Even sound travels differently, softened by moisture and stillness. And here's a small comfort. Your body understands temperature drift too. It often sleeps best when it's slightly cooler. The natural cooling of evening helps signal the body toward rest. It's one of the reasons bedtime can feel like a settling, like the whole system is gradually powering down, not with a click, but with a glide. So you don't have to force sleep. You can allow it to arrive the way coolness arrives, little by little. If your mind is warm with thoughts, let them cool gently now. Let your forehead smooth. Let your shoulders sink as if the air itself is inviting them downward. Outside, the ground continues releasing heat into the night until it has nothing more to give. The air becomes steadier. Dew forms more fully. Leaves feel cooler to the touch. The landscape turns into a calm, quiet temperature map, each area finding its own soft balance. And above, the peafowl remain tucked in their tree, accepting the drift, letting the night do what it does. Inhale, a little cooler. Exhale, a little softer. No need to hurry. Night doesn't hurry. When the light fades, the world becomes less visual and more sensory in quieter ways. Night smells different. It often carries more moisture, and moisture holds scent like a gentle bowl holds water. The air can smell of soil, leaf litter, cool grass, and the faint sweetness of plants resting. If water is nearby, there's a soft mineral note too, fresh, calm, and grounding. Wild peafowl experience this shift while perched above the ground. Birds are more visually oriented than many mammals, but scent and sound still matter. The environment announces itself through subtle cues, a change in wind, a different pattern in insect calls, the hush that follows when something larger passes through. But the key word tonight is subtle. A branch creaks under the weight of a settling bird. Leaves whisper when a breeze turns a corner. A distant frog offers one calm note, then returns to silence like it's trying not to overdo it. Peafowl, resting in the tree, don't narrate these sounds as threats or stories. They receive them as information, then let them pass. The night is full of signals, and most of them mean nothing urgent. They are simply the normal language of a living landscape. If you've ever laid in bed listening to your home at night, the little pops and clicks of cooling wood, the distant hum of electricity, you know that feeling. The world continues, even while you rest. It doesn't need your supervision. It just needs your permission to be background. In the peafowl's world, the background is often made of insects. Crickets and other night singers create repeating patterns that can feel almost musical. The repetition is soothing because it's predictable. It doesn't demand interpretation. It's just rhythm, and rhythm is one of the easiest bridges to sleep. So if your mind is searching for something to hold on to, let it hold on to sound, not the meaning of sound, just the shape of it. The rise and fall, the steady pulse, the soft randomness that never becomes chaos. Imagine the scent of damp leaves. Imagine cool air moving through grass. Imagine a tree full of resting birds, each a quiet silhouette. The peafowl remain still, their feathers barely shifting with breath. The air around them carries faint plant smells, warmed slightly by their bodies, cooled slightly by night. It's a small, private weather system, calm, contained, steady. And you can have your own version of that. Let your room be your landscape. Let your blankets be your feather layer. Let night sounds become the insects in the distance, soft, repeating, harmless. Inhale the idea of cool, clean air. Exhale the need to interpret. The night does not require analysis. It offers sensation. And if you allow sensation to be enough, sleep can arrive quietly, the way scent arrives on a breeze, without effort, without noise, without needing a reason. If you watch a peafowl resting in a tree, it can feel timeless. Feathers, branch, moonlight, stillness. And in a way, it is timeless because the story behind that moment took a very long time to become what it is. Evolution is not a dramatic makeover. It's not a quick redesign. It's more like a slow shaping, one gentle adjustment at a time across many generations, like a river smoothing stones or wind rounding the edge of a cliff. Quiet, persistent, patient. Peafowl are part of a group of birds called galliforms, ground-feeding birds that include pheasants and relatives. Their strong legs, sturdy bodies, and practical feeding habits reflect a long history of living close to the ground. They are built for walking and foraging, for using familiar landscapes, for making a life out of steady routines. And then there are the peacock's train feathers, those famous, ornate coverts that seem almost excessive. It can feel like nature got carried away, like the design team stayed late and said, "What if more?" But even that extravagance is part of a slow process shaped by choices over time. The train likely developed through sexual selection, where traits that attract mates become more common. Not overnight, not in a burst. Slowly, as preferences and outcomes accumulate. So the peacock's beauty is not sudden. It is the result of countless quiet evenings, countless seasons, countless birds living and resting and repeating life. That's a comforting thought, that big changes in nature often come from small, repeated steps. No urgency, no panic, just time doing what time does. If your life sometimes feels like it should be solved quickly, you can borrow this scale. Nature is rarely in a hurry. It builds forests one ring at a time. It shapes feathers one generation at a time. It makes beauty slowly. Even your own rest can be like that. Sleep is not something you force. It's something that arrives through repetition, night after night, breath after breath, body learning again and again that it is allowed to let go. Up in the tree, the peafowl remain still. Their bodies are the living outcome of long patience, strong legs folded under them, feathers arranged in layers, a design refined by time. And below, the landscape continues its own slow evolution too. Soil forming, plants cycling, water carving gentle paths. The entire world is a quiet project that has never needed your speed, so you can let your thoughts relax into a bigger timeline. Nothing needs to be perfected tonight. Nothing needs to be completed. You're simply here, in a moment that belongs to a long, gentle story, where even the most stunning feathers were made slowly, and rest has always been part of the plan. In the dark, the world becomes a little less detailed and a little more kind. For humans, night often blurs edges. We stop noticing the tiny imperfections. The laundry pile becomes a vague shape. The clutter on the table turns into a shadowy suggestion. It's as if darkness is gently saying, "You can stop inspecting everything now." For birds like peafowl, vision is still important, but low light changes what's useful. Details fade. Movement and contrast become more meaningful. The night becomes a world of outlines and quiet shifts. Perched in the roosting tree, a peafowl can still perceive the shape of branches, the arrangement of leaves, the open spaces between twigs. The bird's posture stays steady, feet gripping the branch, body balanced. In this dim world, stability is comfort, and the landscape itself cooperates. The moon offers just enough light to map the scene without turning it into day. Shadows soften. The forest edge turns into a gentle gradient. Even the peacock's bright colors, so intense in sunlight, become muted and restful. There's something soothing about that transformation. The idea that the world can be less sharp and still be safe. Sometimes we treat clarity as a requirement, like we need to see everything perfectly before we can rest. But nature doesn't work that way. The peafowl don't demand high-definition certainty. They accept soft focus. They accept the night as it is. And you can do the same with your thoughts. If your mind keeps trying to figure things out, imagine letting those thoughts blur slightly. Not because they don't matter, but because you don't need perfect resolution right now. Night is not for solving. Night is for resting. In the tree, the peafowl settle deeper. A small shift of feathers, a slight lowering of the head, a pause that becomes longer. The body chooses stillness again and again. Below, grass moves gently with air currents. Leaves sway softly. A night insect sings a repeating line that never asks for your opinion. And in this dim, softened world, everything becomes simpler. Branch, breath, shadow, calm. If you'd like a tiny, sleepy joke, the night is basically a built-in filter. It smooths everything out. Nature invented soft lighting long before we did. So let the night filter your inner world too. Let your attention soften. Let your breathing become the only clear thing you need. Inhale, a quiet outline. Exhale, a deeper blur. The peafowl remained perched and calm, trusting the night's soft focus and letting rest come without needing to see every detail. And you can trust it too, that even with edges blurred, even with questions unanswered, sleep can still arrive, gentle, steady, and perfectly enough. If you could see air the way a feather feels it, the night would look like slow music. Feathers are not just for show, they are sensory tools. They register tiny changes in wind, small shifts in temperature, the subtle pressure of air moving past the body. Even when a bird is resting, feathers quietly report. A breeze passed, the air cooled, the world moved. Up in the roosting tree, a peafowl sits very still. Yet the feathers along its body respond to the environment in soft, almost invisible ways. A faint ruffle when wind slides through leaves. A tiny settling when the air becomes calmer. A slight lift and fall with each breath. It's easy to think of sleep as complete stillness, but in nature, sleep often looks like gentle adjustment. A living body never becomes a statue. It simply becomes quieter. Peafowl feathers layer like shingles on a roof. Each feather overlaps the next, creating a surface that can hold warmth close and shed chill away. In this sense, a peafowl is a small, feathered house, portable, well-insulated, and thankfully not listed on a real estate website with the phrase cozy used suspiciously. As the night deepens, air often becomes steadier. Daytime breezes slow, temperature differences smooth out. The landscape begins to feel like one calm room instead of many little pockets. And when the air steadies, feathers settle too. You can imagine the feather layer becoming a gentle map of the night, showing where air is cool, where it is still, where it brushes softly against leaf and bark. The bird receives this map without analysis. It doesn't worry about the breeze. It simply lets it pass. If you have a mind that likes to monitor everything, your schedule, your messages, your responsibilities, you can borrow the feather's approach. Feel what you feel, then let it move on. Notice, then release. The goal isn't to control the air. The goal is to be comfortable inside it. Outside, the tree sways in a slow rhythm, barely moving, like it's rocking the birds to sleep. Leaves whisper once, then settle. The moon remains steady. Dew continues to gather on the world's surfaces with quiet patience, and the peafowl stays perched, held by branch and feather and air, resting in the night's soft atmosphere. Try a breath that feels like air moving through feathers. Inhale, gentle contact. Exhale, gentle release. Nothing to hold tightly, nothing to chase. Just you, resting in the moving air, the way a feather rests in wind, responsive, calm, and perfectly at ease with softness. There is a comforting truth about night. It is not permanent, but it also doesn't need to be rushed. Somewhere beyond the dark, morning exists as a future softness, a pale idea waiting patiently. The birds do not worry about it. They do not count down the hours. They simply rest until the light returns. Peafowl roost through the night, conserving energy, staying elevated, letting their bodies settle into a quieter mode. The tree becomes their nighttime home, and the night becomes a long pause, like a deep breath held gently, not tightly. If you imagine the hours moving, they move slowly. The sky shifts in barely noticeable shades. The air cools, then steadies. Dew forms and holds. Insects sing in repeating patterns, then quiet down, then begin again. The world is busy, but it's the kind of busy that doesn't require your attention. Up in the branches, the peafowl remain tucked in. Their feathers look darker now, their shapes simpler. The peacock's train, which dazzles by day, is only a soft shadow by night, like a story folded closed, resting on a shelf. This is one of the most soothing things about animals. They accept timing. They accept cycles. They do not demand that the night be efficient. They let it be long. They let it do its slow work. And you can let the night do its work on you, too. Maybe you came here tired. Maybe you came here restless. Maybe you came here with a mind still half lit with thoughts. Any of that is fine. The night doesn't judge your entry. It simply offers its quiet atmosphere and waits for your body to soften into it. If you catch yourself thinking, "I have to sleep soon," you can gently replace it with something kinder. Sleep can arrive when it arrives, like morning, like dew, like the return of birdsong. Outside, the tree holds steady. The peafowl are safe enough to rest, and the future, morning, is already on its way. But it's not hurrying. It's walking toward the horizon at a calm pace, like someone who knows you'll be here when they arrive. So you don't need to chase tomorrow. You don't need to rehearse it. You don't need to solve it tonight. Let the night be complete. Let rest be enough. And somewhere in the branches, the peafowl continue to do what they've always done. Be still, be held, and allow the next light to come later, quietly, when it's time. Landscapes remember in gentle ways, not with photographs, not with diaries, with impressions, tracks in mud, rings in wood, smooth stones shaped by water, paths worn into grass by repeated footsteps. Nature writes its stories into surfaces, then lets weather edit them slowly. The forest edge where peafowl live has its own memory. A faint trail through brush where birds and other animals pass. A patch of ground kept open by frequent wandering. A tree branch polished smooth by years of roosting feet. These are quiet records, made without intention, preserved without effort. Peafowl contribute to this memory simply by living. Day after day, their routines leave small marks. A scattered seed husk, a disturbed leaf, a shallow footprint. None of it dramatic. All of it meaningful in the gentle way repetition becomes meaningful. A tree that hosts roosting birds becomes slightly changed over time. It holds feathers occasionally dropped, like tiny notes left behind. It carries the faint scent of living bodies. Its branches become familiar highways into the night. And then the weather comes, dew, wind, rain, and smooths everything again. Nature balances memory with forgetting. It keeps enough to guide, but not so much that the past becomes heavy. That is a beautiful system. If you've been holding on to the day like it must be stored perfectly, imagine the landscape's approach instead. Let your mind keep what it needs and allow the rest to soften. Let time and sleep do their quiet editing. You might notice this in your own life. Certain places hold memories without trying. A chair where you always sit, a corner of the room that feels safe, a familiar street that calms you. The body recognizes patterns the way the landscape does, quietly, automatically. Tonight, the peafowl rest in a tree that has held them before. They trust the memory of that place. They trust that the branch will be steady. They trust the shape of the night. And you can trust your own small comforts too. Let your bed be your familiar branch. Let your breathing be your repeated path. Let the night hold the memories you don't need to carry. Everything leaves a trace, and everything, with time, becomes lighter. In that gentle balance, remembering and releasing, rest begins to feel natural again, as if the landscape itself is reminding you how. An ecosystem can feel like a quiet mind, not a mind that thinks in words, a mind that responds, a mind made of feedback, balance, and small adjustments that keep life flowing. At the forest edge, everything is connected in calm, practical ways. Plants grow where light allows. Insects gather where plants provide food. Birds like peafowl forage where insects and seeds are abundant. Trees offer branches for roosting. Water shapes the soil. The soil shapes the plants shape the air. No single part controls the whole. The system knows itself through countless small interactions, each one simple, each one repeated. This is often what people mean when they talk about nature's intelligence. Not cleverness, but responsiveness. The ability to adjust without panic. The ability to keep going without needing a manager. Peafowl are part of this responsive web. Their foraging helps redistribute seeds and disturb leaf litter slightly, which can affect insects and soil in small ways. Their presence is not an invasion of the system, it's participation, a quiet role in the evening routine of the land. And the land responds back. Trees provide perches, fields provide grains, shrubs provide shade. The ecosystem offers enough, and the birds respond with steady living. If you pause and picture it, the whole scene feels like calm cooperation rather than competition. Not because nature is nice, but because balance is useful. Systems that balance tend to last longer. Nature, in its patient way, prefers what lasts. And there's something soothing about that preference. If your mind has felt chaotic, imagine adopting ecosystem intelligence for the night. Let different parts of you adjust without forcing them. Let your breathing slow because the room is quiet. Let your shoulders relax because you're supported. Let your thoughts drift because they don't need to be organized right now. You don't have to control everything to be okay. You only have to respond gently to what's here. Outside, the forest edge continues its quiet feedback. Temperature drops, dew forms, insects sing, birds rest. Everything adjusts, everything continues. And inside, you can let your own system do the same. Inhale, your body responds. Exhale, your mind softens. This is the intelligence of the night. Not solving, not striving, just balancing, just settling, just letting everything find its place. Adaptation is one of nature's quiet poems. It's written slowly, in bodies and behaviors, in the shapes of feathers and the timing of rest. It doesn't rhyme loudly. It doesn't demand applause. It simply fits life to the world, and the world to life. Peafowl carry adaptation in every detail. Strong legs for walking and scratching gently at the ground. Sturdy bodies that handle long days of foraging. Feathers that insulate and signal. The habit of roosting in trees. An elegant solution to nighttime comfort. Repeated until it becomes tradition. Even their coloration is a kind of adaptation. The peacock's shimmering train is a specialized feature shaped by long patterns of selection, while the peahen's softer tones blend into the landscape with quiet practicality. Two different approaches, both suited to their roles. But adaptation isn't only physical, it's also behavioral. When to feed, where to rest, how to move through a habitat. Peafowl learn the layout of their environment, where food is likely, where branches are stable, where shade and open ground meet. They settle into routines because routines are efficient in a gentle way. They reduce effort. They reduce uncertainty. There is poetry in that. The way life becomes smoother when it repeats what works. And this kind of poetry can apply to you too, without turning into homework. Your body has its own adaptations. It learns what helps you rest, a certain position, a certain rhythm of breathing, a certain kind of quiet. If you let yourself practice these patterns often enough, they become familiar, and familiarity becomes comfort. Night after night, The peafowl return to their roost. Night after night, you can return to your own softness. Adaptation, in this sense, is not about changing yourself into something better. It's about finding what fits and allowing it to hold you. So tonight, you don't have to improve. You don't have to transform. You only have to settle into what already supports you. Let your breath adapt to stillness. Let your thoughts adapt to quiet. Let your body adapt to rest. Outside, feathers fold, branches hold. The night continues its slow drift. The world is full of living things that have learned over time how to belong, and you are allowed to belong too, in your bed, in your breathing, in the calm that arrives when you stop trying to force anything. Nature's poem is simple. Fit gently, repeat kindly, and let sleep come home. Seasons don't arrive with an announcement. They arrive like a change in fabric. One day the air feels slightly lighter. Another day it feels slightly cooler. Leaves hold themselves differently. Insects adjust their timing. The light shifts its angle by such a small amount you wouldn't notice, unless you stopped long enough to let your body notice for you. Wild peafowl live inside these whispers. They don't label them as seasonal transitions. They simply respond. When rains come, the ground softens, plants grow more eagerly, insects become more plentiful, and the world becomes a quieter kind of abundant. When dry seasons settle in, the landscape tightens a little, and the birds adjust their wandering, their foraging, their routines. In places where peafowl live near human fields and forest edges, the seasons can change the whole feeling of the habitat. Grass becomes taller or shorter. Water becomes closer or farther. Shade becomes more valuable. The forest edge becomes a different kind of edge. Sometimes greener, sometimes dustier, sometimes scented with damp earth, sometimes with dry leaf. And yet, the peafowl remain. They keep their steady habits, but the habits soften and shape themselves around what the world offers. There's something deeply comforting about creatures that don't fight change. Not because change is always easy, but because the rhythm of life includes it. And nature, quietly, has practice. If you've been in a season of your life that feels unsettled, you can borrow the mindset of the landscape. You don't need to solve the whole year tonight. You only need to be here, now, where your breath can be a small, steady season of its own. Inhale, like the first cool evening after a warm day. Exhale, like leaves releasing the last heat. Seasons also teach patience by repeating. Even when everything changes, patterns return. Morning returns. Night returns. The moon returns. The feeling of resting returns, even if it takes a little time to find it again. And here's a tiny, affectionate joke to keep it light. Nature never writes a dramatic, "New year, new me" post. Nature is more like, same me, slightly different weather. Very relatable, very sustainable. Tonight, the peafowl are tucked into their roost, and the season holds them the way it holds everything, with a steady hand. The air might be warm or cool, moist or dry, but the bird's job's the same: rest, conserve, soften. So let your body do the same. Whatever season you're in, let this moment be gentle. Let it be a small clearing where you don't have to push forward. The seasons will keep speaking in whispers, and you can sleep through them, trusting that the world knows how to carry change without needing you to stay awake for it. Nature cooperates in ways that rarely look like teamwork. There are no handshakes, no meeting agendas, no motivational speeches, and yet, things assist each other constantly, quietly, practically, without needing credit. A flowering plant offers nectar, an insect visits, feeding gently, and carries pollen along to another bloom. A bird eats fruit and later drops seeds in a new place, giving plants a chance to grow somewhere else. Trees offer shade that cools the ground, allowing moisture to last longer. Moisture supports insects. Insects support birds. Birds support plants again. It's not sentimental. It's simply functional. And because it's functional, it can also feel peaceful. In the world of wild peafowl, cooperation shows up as a kind of shared support system. The forest edge provides food and cover. Trees provide branches for roosting. The birds, in turn, move through the habitat in ways that stir the soil, shift leaf litter, and sometimes spread seeds. Even their presence, walking, pecking, pausing, becomes part of how the landscape stays alive. Sometimes cooperation is just sharing space. A roosting tree becomes a shared resting place. Birds settle at different points along branches, leaving room for one another. No one is trying to win the best seat, at least not with the drama humans bring to airplane boarding. And if you've ever watched birds arrange themselves without argument, it can feel like a gentle reminder. Life can be coordinated without being loud. Quiet cooperation can also be seen in timing. Many creatures fit their routines around one another. Plants open flowers at certain times. Insects appear when those flowers are ready. Birds forage when insects are active. The entire ecosystem runs on mutual scheduling that nobody complains about. It's almost unbelievable. If humans tried it, there would be 5 group chats and at least 1 spreadsheet. But nature does it by rhythm. And rhythm is something you can borrow tonight. Let your body cooperate with the bed. Let your breath cooperate with the quiet. Let your thoughts cooperate with softness instead of resisting it. You don't have to force yourself into sleep like a project. You can allow yourself into sleep like an ecosystem, each part supporting the other, each part adjusting gently. Your lungs slow, and your heart follows. Your shoulders soften, and your jaw follows. Your eyelids grow heavy, and your mind follows. This is cooperation in the most personal sense, your own system working together, without conflict, without urgency. Outside, the peafowl remain still, tucked into their shared tree. The night holds them. The leaves hold the night. The world holds its own balance, and you can be held too. Quiet cooperation doesn't demand perfection. It only asks for willingness, a small willingness to soften, a small willingness to let things support you. Tonight, let life do what it does best, work together quietly, and drift toward rest. Nature doesn't fear endings the way humans do. It doesn't label them as failures. It doesn't rush to fix them. It treats endings as part of the rhythm, the way a leaf falls, the way a flower fades, the way a day closes its eyes. In the peafowl's world, cycles are everywhere. Day becomes dusk. Dusk becomes night. Night becomes morning. Feathers molt and renew. Seasons turn. Food sources shift. paths change slightly, then return. Even the most stunning peacock train isn't permanent. Feathers are replaced over time. A bird sheds what is no longer needed and grows what will be needed next. This is not tragedy. It is maintenance. It is the quiet wisdom of renewal. If you imagine a molted feather on the ground, a long, eye-spotted curve lying still in grass, it looks like a small piece of art left behind. But for the bird, it's simply part of life moving forward without drama. And that can be soothing. Because humans often treat letting go as if it's a test. We replay, we cling, we negotiate with the past. But nature lets go constantly, not because it's cold, but because it's practical. The world stays alive by releasing what's done. Endings in nature are rarely sharp. They are gradual. A day doesn't switch off. It dims. A season doesn't vanish. It shifts. A feather doesn't disappear. It loosens, falls, and becomes part of the ground again. Tonight, you can practice this kind of gentle release. Maybe you have thoughts you don't need to carry into sleep, a worry, a conversation, a to-do list item that has been circling like a moth near a lamp. You don't have to solve it to let it go for now. You can set it down like a feather. Just because you set it down doesn't mean it's gone forever. It simply means it's not in your grip tonight. And here's a small, affectionate joke. The peafowl do not write heartfelt goodbye letters to each feather. They just molt. Imagine the time we could save. Imagine the peace. Outside, the birds rest in their roost. The night continues. Dew gathers. The world keeps cycling without forcing anything. You are allowed to be part of that cycle. Let the day end without panic. Let your body accept the closing. Let sleep be your renewal. Inhale, a quiet ending. Exhale, a softer beginning. Everything in nature knows how to let go. Not with force, but with time. And tonight, you can let go too. Slowly, kindly, like the world dimming into night. Slowness in nature is not a flaw. It is a style. It's the way moss grows without apology. The way trees take years to become tall and still manage to be impressive without ever hurrying. The way rivers carve their paths by simply continuing, one gentle moment after another. Wild peafowl, too, carry a kind of slow serenity. Even when they move, they often move steadily rather than urgently. They wander, they pause, they peck, they listen. They choose a branch and settle. Their routines are full of small, repeated actions that don't demand speed to be effective. There's a quiet confidence in that. Humans often treat slowness like something to correct. We rush through meals. We rush through conversations. We rush through rest, ironically, trying to fall asleep, as if sleep is a task to complete. But the natural world does not rush into rest. It drifts into it. The peafowl settle in their tree, and the night settles around them. The cooling air arrives gradually. Dew forms one bead at a time. Sounds soften step by step. It's all a slow choreography, beautiful precisely because it's unhurried. And here's the affectionate humor tucked in like a lullaby. Moss never hurries. Moss is living proof that slow can still be wildly successful. Moss would be terrible at deadlines, but excellent at being moss. Honestly, we should all pick one thing and do it that well. Tonight, your one thing can be resting. You can let your mind stop sprinting. Let it walk. Let it sit down. Let it lean against the tree of this moment and feel supported. If your thoughts keep moving quickly, don't fight them. Just slow the pace around them. Make your breathing slower than your thinking. Let your breath become the leader and your thoughts become followers, gradually matching the rhythm. Inhale, longer than you expect. Exhale, softer than you expect. Outside, the peafowl remains still, and the forest edge continues its slow work. The world does not require speed to be alive. It requires steadiness. It requires rhythm. It requires the kind of patience that gives things time to become gentle. And your body is built for this. Your nervous system understands how to downshift. Your muscles know how to soften. Your eyelids know how to grow heavy. You don't have to instruct them loudly. You can invite them quietly. Slowness is not falling behind. Slowness is arriving fully. So let the night be slow. Let you be slow. Let everything take the time it takes. Sleep is not impressed by effort. Sleep is soothed by softness, and softness comes easiest when nothing is in a hurry. Home, in nature, is often not a building. It's a feeling of fit, a branch that holds, a grove that feels familiar, a path that the feet recognize, a place where the body can rest without scanning every shadow. For wild peafowl, home might be a territory of forest edges and open patches, water nearby, trees suitable for roosting. They return to places that work, not because they own them, but because those places have proven kind enough. A roosting tree can become a home without walls. Night after night, birds return to it, perch in familiar spots, settle into the same gentle posture. The tree becomes part bed, part shelter, part memory. It doesn't close around them, but it holds them anyway. There is something beautiful about that kind of home. Open, breathable, quiet. Humans often think of home as something we must secure perfectly. Locks, plans, certainty. But nature shows another kind of safety. Safety through relationship. The bird is safe because it knows the tree. It knows the branch. It knows the route to get there. It knows the rhythm of the place. And maybe you know something like that too. Maybe home, for you, is a certain blanket, a certain corner of the bed, a familiar sound at night, a routine that signals rest is allowed. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be permanent. It only has to be familiar enough for your body to loosen. If you've ever traveled and felt relief returning to your own bed, that's your nervous system recognizing home. Not the concept, the sensation. Tonight, you can bring that sensation to the foreground. Let the bed be your branch. Let the room be your grove. Let your breathing be your familiar path. You don't need walls of certainty to feel held. You can be held by softness, by repetition, by the quiet trust that this moment is safe enough. And here's a small, affectionate joke to keep the mood feather light. Peafowl don't redecorate their roost every week. They don't debate throw pillows. They simply return to what works. A truly minimalist lifestyle, and honestly, kind of iconic. Outside, the peafowl remain perched, settled into their chosen home for the night. The tree holds them without effort. The night wraps the landscape in quiet. Inside, you can let the same thing happen. Rest doesn't require perfection. It only requires enough. Enough softness, enough quiet, enough familiarity. Tonight, let home be a feeling that arrives gently, like a bird returning to a branch, like your breath returning to itself, until sleep feels less like something you chase and more like some place you belong. Remember the question we placed gently beneath the leaves. What does it mean to feel safe enough to rest in a world that is still alive? Tonight, it returns softly, not like a test, not like a puzzle, more like the faint scent of damp earth drifting back on a breeze. You notice it, and it's already calm. The peafowl have been answering this question the whole time, without words. They answered it when they wandered familiar ground at dusk, when they chose the forest edge, where open space meets cover, when they lifted into trees to roost, letting height become a quiet comfort, when they tucked their feathers and settled their weight into branches that have held them before. Safety for them is not a fortress, it is fit, a place that feels known, a rhythm that repeats, a branch that holds steady, a night that follows the day with gentle consistency. And maybe that's all we need tonight too. Not a perfect guarantee, not a checklist, just the feeling that this moment is enough. Enough quiet, enough softness, enough familiarity for your body to loosen its grip. If you're listening and your mind still feels like it's scanning, replaying the day, checking tomorrow, measuring what you didn't finish, you can let the peafowl teach you something simple. You don't have to patrol the night. You can let the night hold itself. Outside, the air continues its slow settling. Dew rests on leaves. Insects keep a gentle rhythm. Water, if it's nearby, keeps smoothing itself in the dark. The world is alive, yes, but it's alive in a quieter way now, like a house after the lights are off. And inside you, your own world is alive too. Breath moving, heart beating, muscles slowly unwinding. None of it needs supervision. It already knows what to do. So let the question rest beside you without needing an answer. Let it become a soft companion, not a demand. What does it mean to feel safe enough to rest? It might mean letting your shoulders drop. It might mean releasing your jaw. It might mean allowing your thoughts to blur. It might mean trusting repetition. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The peafowl remain perched in their tree, held by wood and leaf and night air. They do not force sleep. They simply stop interfering with it. And you can practice that too. Let the night be your branch. Let your breath be your familiar path. Let rest arrive the way it arrives in nature, quietly, steadily, without being chased. There is a moment in the night when everything becomes less interested in movement. The wind doesn't stop completely. It just eases, like someone lowering their voice because they've remembered this is a place for rest. Leaves shift less often. Grass stops shivering. The air becomes smoother, more settled, as if the whole landscape is exhaling. If there is water nearby, pond, stream, canal, it begins to look like a darker, calmer mirror. Ripples become smaller, reflections become steadier. Even sound feels softened, as though the night has placed a gentle hand over the world's mouth and whispered, "Shh, you're doing great." Up in the tree, the peafowl remain quiet shapes among branches. Their bodies are tucked in. Their feathers hold warmth. Their posture says, nothing more is required. And that can be your posture too. You don't have to do sleep. You can let sleep happen around you the way the wind eases around the trees. You can let your thoughts become like water, moving when they move, smoothing when they smooth, without needing to be controlled. If a thought passes through, let it be a ripple. If another follows, let it be a smaller ripple. If your mind tries to hold on to something, let the night loosen its grip. The landscape does this naturally. It doesn't demand constant motion. It doesn't stay loud to prove it exists. It becomes quieter because that is what the hour invites. Imagine the wind turning into a faint, slow breath through leaves. Imagine water returning to a smooth surface. Imagine the insects keeping their rhythm, but softer now, as if they're humming rather than singing. And in your own body, imagine the same easing. Let your forehead soften, let your tongue rest, let your shoulders sink into the support beneath you, let your hands become heavier. You might notice that when the outer world feels calmer, the inner world can follow. Not instantly, not perfectly, but gently, like a boat settling when the waves finally quiet down. The peafowl do not ask whether the night is calm enough. They accept the calm that is available and settle into it. They let the tree hold them. They let the air cool them. They let time pass without watching it. Tonight you can let the wind ease inside you too. You can let the water of your mind smooth itself. Inhale, like a breeze that barely touches. Exhale, like a ripple fading into stillness. Nothing to prove, nothing to chase. Just the quiet, steady drift of night, and the soft understanding that rest is already happening, one eased breath at a time. Night sounds don't disappear all at once, they drift. The chorus that felt clear earlier, the insects, the occasional call, the soft shifting of leaves, begins to feel farther away, as if it's moving to the other side of a gentle hill. The volume isn't necessarily lower. Your attention is simply sinking, and sound becomes background again. This is one of the sweetest parts of the descent into sleep. The moment when the world is still there, but you no longer feel responsible for noticing it. Outside, crickets continue their repeating rhythms like a lullaby that never tries to be creative. They don't add a bridge. They don't switch genres. They stay steady, which is quietly excellent. A distant sound may pass, a far-off vehicle, a dog barking once, a door closing somewhere in the human world. Even those sounds can become part of the background, like a pebble dropped into a lake that quickly smooths again. Up in the tree, the peafowl remains still. Their presence is almost dreamlike now, dark shapes within darker leaves. If you could see them clearly, you'd notice how little they move, how settled they are, how uncomplicated their rest appears. Bird rest can include brief wakefulness and deep stillness in cycles. But from the outside, it looks like peace. A body held by a branch, breathing quietly, feathers barely shifting with the air. And as you listen, your mind can begin to do something similar, cycling between noticing and drifting, then drifting more, then noticing less. If you catch yourself listening too hard, you can soften your attention the way you'd soften your gaze. You don't need to focus on any one sound. Let sounds arrive and leave on their own. Let them pass like clouds. Imagine your attention as a small lantern being lowered, lower, lower, until the light is just a warm glow. Lower, until it's barely needed. The night continues its gentle performance without demanding an audience. And if your thoughts appear, little commentary, little planning, they can become distant too. Not because you push them away, but because you stop feeding them. You let them be small sounds in the background, like insects you don't need to identify. Inhale, and let the world be there. Exhale, and let it be far away. The peafowl don't name the night sounds. They don't analyze them. They simply rest in them. Tonight, let yourself rest in the world's steady hush. Let the chorus grow distant. Let your inner voice soften into the same quiet rhythm. And if you fall asleep here, mid-sentence, mid-breath, mid-thought, that's not interruption. That's the whole point. There is a particular kindness in heaviness, not the heaviness of worry, the heaviness of rest, the kind that arrives when muscles finally decide they've done enough for one day and would like to become quiet. Thank you very much. In the tree, the peafowl's body is held in a simple balance. Feet clasp the branch. The center of weight settles. Feathers arrange themselves around the shape of the bird. Nothing is strained. Nothing is forced. That ease is a form of heaviness, the feeling of being supported. You can let your own body find that same supported weight. Notice the places where you meet what holds you. Your bed, your pillow, the air around your skin. Let gravity do its calm work. You don't need to hold yourself up anymore. That job is done for tonight. If your shoulders are still lifted slightly, you can let them sink. If your jaw is tight, you can let the tongue rest. If your hands are curled, you can let fingers loosen. Heaviness is the body's way of saying, I am safe enough to stop. And that brings us back to the night's gentle question again, without needing words. Safety is not always a thought. Often, it's a sensation, the sensation of letting go. Outside, the air remains cool and steady. Inside, your body can become warmer under blankets, or cooler as you settle, whatever your comfort prefers. The details don't matter as much as the direction, downward, inward, softer. Imagine the peafowl's feathers as a quiet wrap. Imagine the branch as a steady bed. Imagine your own body held just as surely. If a thought arrives, it can be allowed. If it leaves, it can leave. You don't have to manage anything. Just allow heaviness to spread gently, like warm tea moving through a cup, from forehead to cheeks, from shoulders to arms, from chest to belly, from hips to legs, a slow settling. Up in the tree, the peafowl remain still and present, but deeply at rest. And you can be present in the same way. Not busy, not alert, just here, letting sleep approach. Inhale, feel the body. Exhale, let it sink. The night is holding the world. The bed is holding you. And in this held heaviness, sleep finds you more easily. Not as a task, but as a natural descent into softness. Now the world begins to dissolve into simpler things. Breath, weight, quiet. Outside, fog gathers where it likes to gather. Low places, cool air, the gentle valleys between hills. It doesn't rush, it doesn't aim. It simply drifts, returning to the ground, as if the ground has been calling softly all evening. If you imagine the peafowl in their roosting tree, They are part of that fog-like quiet now. Their shapes are softened by darkness. Feathers blend into leaves. Branches blend into sky. The whole scene becomes less a picture and more a feeling. Stillness held by something steady. This is what final rest begins to feel like. Edges blurring, details fading, the mind becoming less interested in naming things. Factual thoughts can step back now. We don't need them. The night already knows what it is. The birds already know how to rest. You already know how to breathe. So let imagery take over gently. Imagine moonlight on grass like a pale wash of paint. Imagine dew on leaves like tiny beads of quiet. Imagine water smoothing itself until it barely moves at all. Imagine the wind turning into a soft, barely there touch. And in your own body, imagine the same softening. Your breathing can become slower, as if it is drifting. Your thoughts can become quieter, as if they are settling. Your awareness can become fog, present but gentle, spread out, not sharp. If you like a tiny lullaby humor here, almost inaudible, even the stones seem relaxed. They've had practice, and they're very committed to the vibe. Outside, the world continues its slow nighttime work. Inside, you can stop working entirely. Let the day be over. Let tomorrow stay tomorrow. Let now be just now. Inhale, like fog rising slightly. Exhale, like fog returning to the ground. Again and again. The peafowl remain tucked into their branches. The tree remains steady. The night remains soft. Everything belongs exactly where it is. And if sleep arrives here, quietly, mid-breath, mid-image, you can let it take you the way fog takes a field. Slowly, gently, completely, until there is nothing left to do but rest. Now we return to the simple things again. Water, leaves, a distant call, your breath. The night doesn't need new ideas. It prefers familiar ones, repeating softly like a lullaby that never tries to surprise you. The world becomes a small set of gentle motifs, and they circle quietly until the mind stops chasing anything else. Imagine water nearby, still moving, but barely. Not rushing, not changing its mind, just smoothing itself in the dark. A pond holding the moon like a calm thought. A stream speaking in a low voice, repeating the same soothing sentence. Imagine leaves above, soft layers of shadow, shifting occasionally, then settling. The tree that held the peafowl now feels like part of the night itself. Branches are steady, feathers are folded, everything is tucked in. And maybe, somewhere in the distance, a single sound arrives. A bird call, an insect pulse, the faint hush of wind touching grass. Not loud enough to wake you, only loud enough to remind you that life continues. Gently, but you don't have to follow it. You can let these motifs be background, steady, repetitive, safe. If you notice your mind trying to create a story, you can offer it a softer job. Simply watch the repetition. Breath in, breath out. Water smooths. Leaves settle. The night holds. Again and again. Up in the tree, the peafowl remain at rest. Their bodies are warm beneath feathers, their heads tucked, their presence reduced to quiet shapes. The peacock's train, once full of eyes and shimmer, is now just a soft drape in the darkness, like a curtain closed, like a room finally quiet. You might imagine that the birds are dreaming, though we can't know what their dreams look like. But we can know this: they are safe enough to be still. And that safety is felt in the simplest way, by the body loosening. So you can loosen too. Let your forehead soften. Let your shoulders sink. Let your hands become heavy and quiet. If thoughts appear, let them pass like ripples that quickly smooth out. If images appear, let them fade like fog dissolving into a field. The night is not asking you to think. It is inviting you to settle. Breath in, familiar. Breath out, familiar. Water, leaves, distance, quiet. Everything repeats gently in the wild, and you are allowed to repeat nothing at all, just this one thing. Inhale, exhale, and let the motifs carry you slowly and kindly into deeper rest. There is a softness to darkness when you stop treating it like emptiness. Darkness is not nothing. It is a container. It holds shapes without demanding detail. It holds sound without making it sharp. It holds your body without asking you to perform. In the wild, darkness is a familiar blanket. The peafowl know it. They live inside its rhythm. Day opens, night closes, the world dims, and the birds settle. The tree becomes their home, and the dark becomes the roof. If you imagine the roosting tree now, it feels less like a place you visit, and more like a place you belong. Leaves are no longer separate. Branches are no longer distinct. Everything is blended into one calm silhouette, and within that silhouette, the birds rest. Belonging tonight doesn't need to be a big feeling. It can be tiny. Belonging can be the way your body fits into the bed, the way your breath fits into your chest, the way the air fits against your skin. You don't have to earn this. You don't have to explain it. You can simply be included by the night, by the quiet, by the steady turning of the world. If your mind has been busy trying to belong everywhere, belong to work, belong to schedules, belong to expectations, you can let it belong to something simpler now. Belong to the dark, belong to stillness, belong to rest. The peafowl do not question whether they deserve their branch. They do not ask if they are doing bedtime correctly. They simply settle. They allow the tree to hold them, and they allow the night to be enough. And you can allow that too. Imagine darkness as a soft fabric around your thoughts. It doesn't squeeze them. It doesn't trap them. It just dims their edges until they become gentle. Inhale. The dark feels close and kind. Exhale. Your body sinks into it. If you hear a sound, let it belong to the dark as well. Let it be part of the night's texture, not a message you must decode. If you feel a thought, let it belong too. Thoughts can exist without being followed. They can drift through like a moth passing a porch light, then disappearing again. And then there is only breath. Breath in, breath out. The night holds you like it holds the forest edge, like it holds the tree, like it holds the peafowl tucked into feathers. You belong here, not forever, just for now, long enough to rest. Imagine a campfire that is burned down to embers. No tall flames, no crackling drama, just a low, steady glow that warms the air without making noise. It's the kind of fire you sit beside when everyone has stopped talking, and the only conversation left is breathing. That is the mood of the world now. The peafowl are still in their tree, but they feel far away, like a memory you don't need to hold tightly. The forest edge has softened into shadow. Water, if it's there, is quieter than before. Leaves have settled into a gentler stillness. Everything is ember-level calm. If this episode has been like a quiet campfire, then you are one of the resting listeners gathered around it, not crowded, not loud, just sharing the same softness, each in your own space, each letting the night do its slow work. And now, the embers are almost out. Your mind may still flicker with small thoughts. That's okay. Embers flicker too. They brighten for a moment, then dim again. You don't have to put them out. You only have to stop feeding them. No more adding logs, no more stirring the fire, just letting it settle. If you'd like, you can let your breath become the ember rhythm. Inhale, a soft glow. Exhale, a deeper dim. Inhale, exhale. The body understands this. It recognizes the pattern. It follows. Your eyelids grow heavier, not as an effort, but as a natural response, like night flowers closing, like fog returning to ground. Outside, the world continues its quiet. Somewhere, an insect repeats a gentle line. Somewhere, water holds the moon. Somewhere, a leaf moves once and then stills. And inside, your thoughts can become fewer, or they can become softer, or they can continue briefly, but fade at the edges until they no longer feel like words, only like drifting shapes. The campfire glow becomes smaller. Inhale, exhale. If sleep arrives now, you don't need to notice it. You don't need to mark the moment. You can simply drift past the embers into the dark beyond, where everything is quiet and held. And if you're still awake, that's fine too. Embers take time to cool. Night does not rush you. Just keep breathing, slow, steady, warm. A quiet campfire, almost out. A quiet world, almost fully still. And you, safe enough to rest. Now, we let the story become very simple. Breath, stillness, softness. The wild is quiet tonight. Not empty, just resting. Trees hold their branches with patient ease. Leaves stay close to still. Water continues its gentle smoothing, even when you're no longer paying attention to it. Somewhere, the peafowl remain tucked into their roosting tree. Feathers folded, bodies warm, the night holding them with the same calm it offers everything. And you are held too. You don't need more facts now. You don't need more images. You can let the mind loosen its grip on words and return to sensation, like returning to a familiar path in the dark, guided by rhythm rather than sight. Inhale, exhale. If a thought appears, let it float through like a leaf on water. No chasing, no catching. It passes, and the surface smooths again. Inhale, exhale. If a sound appears, let it be distant. Let it be part of the night's fabric, not a thread you need to pull. Inhale, exhale. You are allowed to disappear into rest the way fog disappears into a field. Quietly, naturally, without an announcement. Let your shoulders drop again, even if they've already dropped once. Let your jaw loosen again. Let your breath slow again. Repetition is not failure tonight. Repetition is the lullaby. The night repeats itself too. Water repeats its smoothing. Leaves repeat their settling. The world repeats its gentle turning. And you can simply follow. Inhale, exhale. Everything you need is already here. The support beneath you, the quiet around you, the steady rhythm inside you. Nothing more is required. Nothing needs to be fixed. Just drift. Just soften. Just rest. And as the final image fades, tree, moonlight, feathers, water, there is only the feeling of being part of something steady and natural. Everything flows through the wild. Sleep in that motion.